If you have already watched my breakdown of episode 1 through 5, you know that the drama is already starting to heat up. Now we are jumping into episode 6 through 10, and things get messier from here. So if you've missed this episode or you want to go through chaos with me, don't worry, I got you. We are getting into all the tea, all the messy moments, and all the twists in between. So grab your snacks, grab your drink, and let's get into it. Girl, can we talk about how Sean barely left the villa before everybody moved on? Like, yes, people are emotional during the goodbyes, but the next morning was giving what's for breakfast. That's Love Island for you. The villa waits for nobody. Now, Corbin and Kenzie are officially coupled up after the dramatic recoupling. And honestly, Sean's exit gave everybody a reality check. And now they know nobody is safe. But just when everybody started getting comfortable, Love Island said, absolutely not. The Islanders are told they are having a slumber party challenge. That sounds innocent, right? Wrong.
A slumber party. Try not to dirty the sheets.
The boys are handcuffed, the girls are blindfolded, everybody's having the time of their life. And let me tell you, Melanie was having the time of her life. Sis kept switching between Corbin and Sincere, and I was just there thinking, Melanie, pick a struggle. Poor Sincere looks so confused because it looks like 1 minute they are building something serious, and the next minute Melanie is treating the challenge like speed date. Then Casey said he's feeling blessed. Anaya immediately clocks it. Girl, you could immediately see the annoyance on her face, and that's when I knew, yeah, these two are going to actually have problems. But wait, the producers weren't done. 3 new bombshells walked into the villa: Caleb, Jen, and So. Now, if you're an OG Islander, that is literally your worst nightmare, because you've just gotten comfortable and now 3 attractive bombshells walk into the villa to steal your partner. Caleb made it clear that he's interested in Kenzie, and honestly, Kenzie looked interested too, which is awkward because Corbin literally just stole her from Sean. But now Corbin is finally with the girl he wanted for a bombshell to walk in and turn Kenzie's head. I actually laughed because that's karma moving fast. Then So started getting attention from multiple guys. Gabriel pulled her for a chat and Sisette was interested. And suddenly, Melanie, who has been feeling pretty confident, has real competition. Meanwhile, Trinity and Bryce are just over there minding their business. Honestly, they're one of the very few couples that aren't giving me a headache right now. Kenya and Zach also seem to be settling into their connection. But let's not get carried away. This is Love Island. One bombshell is all it takes to destroy a strong connection. And trust me, week 2 is just getting started. Girl, episode 7 starts and these bombshells waste absolutely no time. Like, they didn't even unpack their bag before playing for chat. As they should, because if you're a bombshell, you don't have time to be shy. Now let's start with Soul. Can we all agree that Soul is gorgeous? The boys definitely agree because they're lining up to get to know her. Gabriel pulls her for a chat and a shake. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, Beatrice, you might have a competition. But then, plot twist. After everything, Soul decides that she's not feeling Gabriel like that. Oh, I said, oh, so all that for nothing. Then Sincere pulls Soul, and girl, the chemistry between these two, immediate, they were flirting, laughing, kissing. Everything was flowing naturally, and that's when Melanie problem started.
You made this when we got here?
I want Sincere.
So feels like a breath of fresh air.
Because remember how Melanie was all about the place in the challenge? Well, now Sincere is finally exploring another connection, and Melanie does not like it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How did it go?
I mean, she's super cool.
Do you want to keep exploring that?
Yeah, I mean, we're still in a couple and we're still connected. So of course I'm not just gonna stop this because again, like we are a couple.
Okay.
I mean, why? What's on your mind? I can tell something's on your mind.
You can't spend episode 6 kissing everybody and suddenly get mad when your man starts talking to another person. Pick a side. And honestly, Sister wasn't exactly helping either. This man was telling Melanie one thing and telling Soul another thing. Every time he said he wants to explore. But every time Melanie gets upset, he would reassure her, then go right back to Soul. Sir, what exactly is your plan here? Because you are confusing everybody. Now, let's talk about Caleb. Girl, the moment he walked in and said, "Hi, Kenzie," hey, I knew that Corbin was in trouble. Because Kenzie has literally said that's her time. A cute country boy. Corbin's eyes started twitching. Kenzie and Caleb's conversation went naturally. They were smiling, laughing, the chemistry was definitely there. Meanwhile, Corbin is watching, acting like he's not bothered. But we know that you are bothered. You literally stole Kenzie from Sean. Now somebody is trying to steal her from you. You see how life comes at you fast? Then there is Jane. I won't even lie, I expected Jane to shake the villa a little more. She mainly focused on Gabriel, but Gabriel still had a foot with Beatrice. So at this point, I'm thinking, Jane, girl, explore other options.
Finally, right? Finally talking to you.
I know, you waited all day.
So you just do modeling?
Just mom.
Because this one isn't giving what's needed. Meanwhile, Trinity and Bryce are just existing in their own world. And honestly, I just used to forget them sometimes because compared to other people drama, they're just peaceful. And maybe that's a good thing, or maybe producers aren't just showing us off. Then Love Island dropped a twist. America gets to vote. It's not for their favorite couple, no. America gets to decide who the 3 new bombshells should couple up with. When Ariana announced that, I literally said, yeah, we all are, let Americans do what? Because you already know America love chaos. The Islanders, they don't have absolute control on what about happen. Imagine waking up thinking you're taking your couple, only to wake up and realize strangers at home decide otherwise. That's strange. And honestly, I love when the public gets involved because they're just as messy as the producers. By the end of episode 7, everybody's nervous. Corbin is wondering if he will lose Kenzie. Melanie is trying to find out if Sincere is serious about her. Beatrice is praying Gabriel doesn't leave her. And I'm just here thinking, week 2 have officially begun. And these bombshells understood their assignment. Girl, episode 8 is where I decided to officially stop defending these islanders. Because what are we actually doing here? Let's start with Melanie and Sincere. At this point, Melanie genuinely believes she's doing something with this man. But he will tell Melanie one thing and tell Sol another thing. And also tells the boys a different thing. Sir, who are we supposed to believe? Because every conversation sounds different. Then Sol is over here thinking things are progressing nicely between them because Sincere is giving her every reason to think so. The whole situation just becomes one big messy love triangle. And honestly, I don't even blame Sol. She's a bombshell and she's doing exactly what she came to do. The problem is Sincere. He keeps saying he wants to explore. But instead of being honest with Melanie, he's trying to keep both girls happy. And spoiler alert, that doesn't end well. Now, while all this is happening, Kenzie somehow finds herself in another triangle. Girl, this woman has options. Corbin is still trying to reassure Kenzie that he still has parents. But Caleb isn't backing down either. Their chats are natural, Kenzie is laughing, and you can tell their connection is flowing. Kenzie noticed Melanie is chatting with Corbin. Now, here is where I was confused. Kenzie is actually getting to know Caleb. But the minute Melanie had a respectful conversation with Corbin, she's upset. Girl, you can't have a whole roster and expect nobody to talk to Corbin. That's not how this works. Even the Islanders started to look at this sideways. Then Bryce, this man started overthinking his relationship with Trinity. Instead of simply talking to Trinity, he let the boys get in his head. And somehow he convinces himself to maybe revisit things with Keda. Excuse me, the same Keda that already chose Zach. I literally paused my TV and said, Bryce, don't embarrass yourself. Meanwhile, Keda is over there enjoying her little connection with Zach, completely unbothered. The confidence, I love it. By the end of the episode, Melanie is emotionally exhausted. Sincere is still confusing everybody. Kenzie is juggling attention from 2 different men. And Bryce is making decisions that I know he's already going to regret. And I just keep thinking the producers deserve a raise because this is messy. Girl, episode 9 made me realize one thing. America is just as messy as the producers. Because when the result of America's votes came in, the villa was shocked. America finally decided who the bombshells and will couple up with these islanders. Caleb ends up with Kenzie, Jen couples up with Gabriel, and Sol couples up with Sincere. Immediately, Corbin, Melanie, and Beatrice are left single. Now imagine standing there and realizing that your relationship had just disappeared because a couple of strangers decided to vote. I would simply pass out. Poor Beatrice. You could tell she was trying to stay positive, but I just had a feeling this would be real. Then came another twist. Corbin had the opportunity to save one girl. Just one. Girl, talk about pressure. He looks at the 2 men standing there, Melanie, Beatrice, and after thinking it through, he chose Melanie. Just like that, Beatrice is dumped from the villa. Honestly, that goodbye broke my heart because Beatrice has handled herself with so much grace from the beginning. The villa gets emotional, people are crying, and Gabriel is clearly devastated because he never expected things to be like this. But can we also talk about Melanie? This girl has been through emotional trenches throughout this week. Like, Sincere had her confused, and now she's saved by Corbin. Meanwhile, Kenzie is still trying to find out whether Corbin or Caleb is the better connection, and Corbin probably doesn't even know where he stands anymore. Then we have Bryce trying to revisit Keda, and girl, Keda shut down politely. She basically said, I'm happy where I am, respectfully, no mixed signals, no false hope, just a classy rejection. Honestly, Keda handled that better than I would have. By the end of episode 9, one islander is gone, relationships have completely shifted, and I'm sitting there wondering how these people still have energy to flirt after crying every 5 minutes. This villa is very exhausting. Girl, episode 10 wasn't a regular villa episode. It was after sun, and honestly, I wasn't expecting much, but they actually gave us some good tea. First of all, Sean is back, and seeing Sean after the villa was honestly very refreshing because now he has had time to process everything that has happened. The host honestly wasted no time asking him about Kenzie, Corbin, and how he felt after being dumped. And I can't lie, Sean handled it fair. You could tell he was disappointed, but he wasn't bitter. He basically understood that's how Love Island works. Then Beatrice entered, and girl, Bea was still funny as she was in the villa. She talks about Gabriel and everything that led to her dumping. Then we get reactions from the host. I love the fact that they didn't hold back their reactions for the villa people and their messy behavior, because let's be honest, Sincere had everybody confused this week. One conversation with Melanie and that conversation with Saul, and every conversation was different. Sir, please pick one. They talked on Corbin saving Melanie instead of Beatrice. Now that decision got people talking, and some people had their opinions on it. He got to hear some behind the scenes about the villa from Sean and Beatrice. And I love this part because we only see 1 hour the whole day, so hearing what we didn't get to see makes it very interesting. Overall, after Sean didn't bring new villa Wala, but he definitely gave us context, opinions, and extra tea that made week 2 make a lot of sense. And now I'm even more invested in what happened next. Let's unpack everything because week 2 was a lot. Corbin got a taste of his own medicine. He stole Kenzie from Sean, only for Caleb to come in and start turning Kenzie's head. Melanie, Sincere, and so became the official sexiest love triangle in the villa. Sincere was telling everybody something different, and everybody was bound to get hot. Seda continued to prove why she's one of the calmest girl in the villa. No unnecessary drama, no chasing men, and just vibes. America reminded everybody that the public is always watching. One vote literally changed the entire villa. Beatrice dumping was one of the saddest moments this week. I really feel like she deserved more time. Corbin saving Melanie instead of Beatrice is still one of the biggest talking points from week 2. Bryce started questioning his connection way too quickly. Sir, stand up. And honestly, week 2 proved something. The strongest couple aren't necessarily the loudest ones. Sometimes the people making the least noise are the ones building the strongest connection. So after 10 episodes, we have Sean dumped, Beatrice dumped, 6 bombshells entered the villa, America's votes changing everything, Corbin's dramatic save, love triangles everywhere, Sincere confusing everybody, Kenzie having all the options, and we are only in week 2, girl. So I have a question: who do you think is playing the biggest game in the villa? Because week 2 is messier than week 1 personally, and somehow I have a feeling that week 3 is even going to be worse. Like, subscribe, and I'll be back very soon with more Love Island tea, because at this point the villa is basically my full-time job.